I'm Joy Milkowski, and I have to say I just completely enjoyed tonight. Brian Schwartz was a fantastic speaker, so relatable. I think that's what I enjoyed most, is he's just such a relatable speaker, and his perspective on these entrepreneurs was incredible. He gave us a look that I don't think we get to see every day. You know, one thing I learned from Brian tonight was we focus a lot on money and whether something will make us money, when really the focus should be on the passion and the excitement that we have for an endeavor, because really at the end of the day, it's not about money, it's about your personal fulfillment. So, you know, I just highly recommend Brian, not only as a speaker, but I'm so excited to read this book, and I thought he was great.
The first question was, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And my answer to that question was, well, if you'd asked me that, and this was when I started the interviews, by the way, if you'd asked me that 10 years ago, I would have said not here.
My name is Michael Miller. I just attended one of the best conferences and talks that I have ever seen. It had to do with 50 interviews with entrepreneurs. What I learned tonight was that there are other people out there that are just like me, who have a passion and a desire to fulfill their ambitions, to move forward in their own business, whether it's by themselves or starting other companies.
With me was, one is the passion is so key. I mean, and this passion is maybe something you've never even felt before, and I think that the luckiest people discover their passions early in life. The passion's almost like an addiction. It consumes you. If somebody offered you $1 million tomorrow to stop doing it, you would actually not be able to walk away from it for most cases. You know, my yoga teachers, I asked, if I offered you $1 million to stop doing yoga forever, would you stop? That means starting tomorrow, you cannot ever do yoga again. And they said, no, yoga is so important to me that I wouldn't take the money. So maybe you have a price. Maybe it's 20 million. But at 1 million, I don't think that if you're willing to take $1 million for it, then you need to keep looking and keep turning up rocks. And I don't think that you can go out and purposely set out and find a passion, because you have to just keep turning rocks. And you know what? I think the passion jumps into people. And if you don't accept it, I think it moves on to someone else.
It occurred to me that all these teachers that make these tiny incomes that you could hardly live on, most of them depend on their spouses to help make it, they are the epitome of an impersonal goal. What they do every day is not about themselves, it's about the children and the world that they're trying to make a better place. So teachers typify an impersonal goal better than any other example I've seen. Risk. Now, something very interesting, and I didn't really realize this till recently, so risk for most of the world is a bad thing. It's paralyzing. It's fear and uncertainty. It's like we're taught at a very young age to minimize risk. But entrepreneurs really embrace risk because they see it as a good thing. They see it as dashing into the future.
Perception is that people are confident because of what they've achieved, but the truth is they were confident before they did anything. It's just you see it because you just you think there's a cause and effect in the world, and the truth is that doesn't exist. But it's the confidence you have to have from the beginning. And what does it take for you to get the confidence? For me, it was the 50 interviews. I mean, people are now coming to me for business advice, sending me their business plans. I was like, I didn't know anything about this a year ago, but it's for me that built the credibility and the confidence. And until I had that, there was a lot of self-doubt and limitations, as you're mentioning. What has occurred through talking to these 50 people is that your world expands so quickly because people know what your passion is and they want to help you. And I got turned on to things like the Da Vinci. I got turned on to Michael Gerber, who I'd never even heard about. He wrote E-Myth. I mean, all these things that they don't really teach you as an employee or in college, but these are the things you need to do, and opportunities will open up.
Hi, my name is Brian Schwartz. I'm going to tell you a little bit about 50 interviews and the concept. And ideally, if this is for the media, I'm going to give you some story ideas. If this is for the press, same idea. Or if you're somebody that's interested in learning more about 50 interviews, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about the concept and how it's evolved. So what began as an exploration for me to find out what I was going to do next, where I had no fulfillment in work, became something much bigger than I ever expected. It was my wife who suggested that I go interview 50 entrepreneurs. Before she would give me her blessing, to go leave my job, she said, Brian, I want you to go talk to people. So initially it started as just an exploration, a discovery of what I would do and if I was cut out for this. About the 5th, 6th interview into what I was doing, people kept telling me, Brian, you're asking some great questions. What are you planning on doing with all this material? And I said, nothing. I'm just trying to find out if this is for me. They suggested I put it in a book. They said, these are things that a lot of people want to know about. And, these are brilliant questions, and you're really getting to the core of what entrepreneurship is all about. So I began assembling the interviews into a more structured format into a book. And basically over the course of a year, there's 52 weeks a year, these are 50 interviews, so I did about an interview a week. I continued through these interviews, and really it was a lot of fun because everyone I interviewed, they were truly fulfilled in what they were doing. What I'm doing now is I'm actually teaching other people to do the 50 interviews. I'm teaching them, I have a 13-year-old girl that's doing 50 actors. Stella's going to go out and interview 50 actors, and in the process she's going to discover the mindset that she needs to have to continue down that path, but most importantly she's going to make the connections. The reason she's gaining access to these people, the same reason I had gained access to people like Michael Gerber, Bob Parsons, Kim Jordan from New Belgium, Jake Jabs, other well-known entrepreneurs, is because they are getting to be in a book.